Alright, this is my second attempt at this little how-to. Basically, it's just, well, if you read the description, it's how to do line lock in, this is a 96 Z28. You can pretty much do it. I would imagine every ABS car is essentially the same thing, so you could do this on pretty much any vehicle. What I did was I have the switch for the system. Now, I hooked this up so that when this is on, my horn now functions as the button to the solenoid. When it's off, my horn sounds. I wanted to do it that way because I didn't want to have a fucking button lying around my car. It's essentially completely stock. Well, the interior is completely stock. I didn't want it to look any different, and I figured this is the cleanest way to do it. Another thing you can also do is you can hook up, if you have nitrous, well, nitrous is one of the only other things I can think of off the top of my head right now that you could arm and de-arm. You could have your nitrous and basically any race setting hooked up through this switch, right, with a relay under the hood. I'll show you guys how I did it. But anyways, I wired the power. I wired from the cigarette lighter. So there's always power there. The car isn't on, I don't have the keys, there's just always power there. The only thing I wouldn't say is don't have something plugged into this when you use your line lock, because you'll probably end up blowing the fuse, which isn't a big deal, but I mean, come on. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that's everything. Alright, the power, to get the power to the solenoid, the line lock solenoid, or roll control, whatever, I ran it up underneath there. There's a wire bundle that comes through the firewall. I will show you. Right in there. There it is. I routed it through the, there was a bolt in there that was just kind of a make your own thread sort of thing that held that wire bundle in. You don't really need it. It's super tight in there. Well, yeah, the bundle's super tight. It's not coming out, so I routed it through there. I didn't want to drill any other holes. I used a lot of this black shielding because I didn't want wires to be hanging out. Plus, I figured it looks stock like that. If someone doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, they're never going to see that. And the relay I put in the stock fuse box here. It's the relay. It's a 40 amp 5 post relay. I'll put the wiring diagram on the description there so everyone can take a look at it. Wire it exactly the way the picture says, and it works marvelously. So yeah, I have it wired in. I went to GM and I bought the connectors. They were going to charge me $4 a piece, but I don't know, something happened, they couldn't find it, so I ended up getting all of them for free, which was pretty sweet because I don't like paying the dealerships a retarded amount of money for something stupid. Alright, so from the relay, you want to have the horn hooked up to this relay. The problem that I had was I originally used the wires from the fuse of the horn, and that ends up taking power away from the horn, and it was a bit of troubleshooting that had to get figured out. So what you want to do is route it from the actual horns. This is the wire right here. The horns in these cars are down in behind the lights on the passenger side. It's a bit of a bitch to get at. You have to actually wire it from the bottom, run it up and across. As for that's essentially the electrical side. I have the ground coming to the ground over here, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Either way, the electrical diagram will explain that further. The brake line side of it, this right here is your front brakes. This one here is to your rear brakes. So this was easily the most ghetto part of the job. You need to actually have I ended up getting these fittings here just from a parts store because these just replacement brake lines didn't have this. When I tried, didn't have the right fitting to get to the fucking whatever brakes, and it was a bit of a bitch because GM didn't make anything like it anymore. So anyways, it took some running around. But yeah, so that right there, you want to go from the front brakes to the solenoid, and then from the solenoid to the ABS block. I saw a lot of guys taking out their ABS. I didn't want to do it because it just seemed like more work. Plus, again, I wanted to leave the car as close to stock as I could. I mounted the solenoid up here, as I'm sure you all saw. I wanted to mount it in here just because it was way closer and it would have been easier for bending brake lines, but it's pretty close to the header, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm pretty sure that's it. I mean, if there's anything else you guys want to know, I'm sure this will work on any car with ABS. If you want to leave it stock and use the horn, that's something I would do, because I mean, fuck man, come on, this isn't Fast and the Furious. You don't want to have a ridiculous looking vehicle with all these fucking stupid buttons. But yeah, it works. I'll put another little I'll put another link to another video I have of the burnout after I finished it. It's nothing big. I got some pretty nice new tires on this. I didn't want to melt them off for glory here. Not yet anyways, maybe at the end of the summer. But that's it. Like I said, if you got any questions, fucking, I guess, ask me. Peace.